The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, the Black Tea Party, featuring weekly discussions on political news and current affairs. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, the Black Tea Party.
I'm waiting for my beat to come in. Here it is. I always say this is my blackest moment of the week, y'all. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Welcome to the Black Tea Party. I'm your host, Don Nash, and I am the luckiest man in Hollywood because I have next to me dark chocolate, honeysuckle brown, milk chocolate. I mean, I'm a happy man.
Oh, God.
But this is Black Tea Party where we talk about all things black. We just black and we drink tea. We are not the Black Tea Party, right?
Right.
But sitting to my left, I have Simone.
Hi, everybody. I am Simone Kelly. I'm from MTV's Are You the One and The Challenge. And I'm also a TV personality, so I'm just excited to be here with you guys and, talk about some good stuff.
Simone, I'm liking that. I'm just personality. But then next to her is Popra. Oprah with potpourri, right? Popra.
No, the hybrid of Puffy and Popra, or the poor Oprah, if you will. But everybody's poor compared to Oprah, so I will take that too. But yeah, everybody knows me from VH1's I Want to Work for Diddy, season 1 and 2. And TV personality, producer, director, brand ambassador extraordinaire and marketing person. So I'm just your business girl, the ultimate hustler, if you will.
Business girl. Let me see your left hand. What's up with that?
You would like to know. We'll talk about that after the show.
And then, last but certainly not least, Miss Elise Armour.
Hey guys, it's my first time on the show. It's actually my first time doing anything like this, so I'm glad to be with such a beautiful, beautiful crew.
It's even interesting that you say that because, what we like to do is to find out what people just feel. It's a point of view, and you definitely have that because I talked to you about that in the kitchen
Oh, Lord. I got
or the green room.
A lot of opinions.
Plenty to say, and it's been a big week. I don't know what you guys are paying attention to, but today a story broke about Rachel Dolezal, this chick who wants to be
NAACP.
the NAACP president in Spokane, Washington, and her mama and daddy came out. Her mother and father came out and said, she ain't black, y'all.
They called her out so bad.
They called her out. They said she is, in fact, white, produced her birth certificate. So now we have a white woman that's serving as president for the NAACP, which may not be a problem, but a white woman who has presented herself to be black.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. Why so? Speak.
I think it's a problem for one because a lot of times people don't understand what black people have went through, and that's the biggest thing to today. Like, it's 2015 and we're still dealing with race and still fighting for, it seems like, our equality. And you have someone who is over one of our a huge platform for African Americans everywhere around this world, and you're not even black, so you don't really know the in-depth history or the pain that us as African Americans have endured for 500 plus years.
But can you say she doesn't know? Because she has actually been an advocate for social injustice and an advocate for blacks.
She's extremely well educated. That's what's scary about it, is she moved to Mississippi. She went to school. She was an Africana Studies major. And then I know that she moved to Spokane, Washington to start off as the president of the section there. And that's where I think the big problem is that she does know and she has studied, and yet she's decided to deceive the entire community. That is some shade.
I think we have to dig a little deeper. There is something seriously going on in the household when this woman has been, I guess, groomed to think there is something wrong with her accepting the fact that she's not black. I heard, through the grapevine that her parents kind of instilled to her mother specifically, that you will never be accepted by the white race. You are of mixed heritage, so you will always be perceived as a minority.
Gotcha.
And so we go dig deeper, like back to, there were times when women, or not just women, but people who were like mixed heritage, in order to get the better work opportunities, from the whole whole history of civil rights and slavery, they would try to pass themselves off as white.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to position themselves to have greater opportunities. So to me, if the intent of this woman was the fact that, hey, I can be of service to the black community if I can just fit in, even though I think it's a bizarre and twisted and warped way to go about
And how
it.
and why did it take so long for us to find out about it? That's what That's what I'm confused
But I
about.
really
Wait for things to blow up at the dinner table. That's what happened.
I really hope that past the hoopla of why did she do this, that we find out why she really did it, and how is she going to leverage that? Because think about the perspective she must have gained, that she really has the white experience because she has a white heritage, but she's been living the black experience. It's like a skinny girl living in a fat suit.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
some psychological issues, though.
Yeah,
It's taking a little bit. It's taking a lot
sometimes
further.
crazy can be useful.
Can be genius. Sometimes crazy can be genius. But here's the thing that I first of all, I'm baffled at the fact that someone would choose to identify with a race where they're going to lose privilege. I'm accustomed to the African American.
You mean on her race end?
On her race end. I mean, she has the privilege. The African American experience is to be the less privileged. So I'm accustomed to us saying that we are white when we could pass for it based on our complexion. Right. But never somebody saying I'm black. So it's interesting. That's an interesting twist for me. Do y'all see that or no?
Well, for her to silence her true identity shows how that fact doesn't matter for her.
Well, does it speak to passion?
I suppose.
I would love to see her statement. She hasn't released a statement yet, has she?
No, but she walked off a couple of scenes.
I saw a video.
Because she said, "Wasn't an African American, right?" Or something like that when
She
they asked
didn't
her
answer
that.
the question.
Yeah.
They were like,
She's
so,
being a little evasive, which I think is kind of like foul. Like this is your platform, lady. The world's eyes are on you. It's time for you to go ahead and keep it real. But I will say this, like, you know, a lot of people don't realize that sometimes people do things for very bizarre reasons, but their intentions are good. Like I used to be little like you guys. I remember a time when I used to work out 6 days a week and was like, you know what? I'd rather be a fat girl because I'm tired of being sexually harassed. I want men to respect my mind and to appreciate the fact that I'm about business. So if the only way they're going to perceive me is as a sexual object is if I have that figure. I remember saying, I'm not working out anymore. I'm eating Chinese food and pizza every night and I want to be a fat girl. I just want you to respect my mind. I'm going to be the church girl you would never want to screw. And then you'll respect my mind. And people go, oh, you lying. You just like to eat. Yeah, I do like to eat. But I was disciplined enough to be a size 6 for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I did it because I thought fat would protect me. What I'm saying is, and then sometimes wealthy people, they'll turn around and give all their money away. And people go, that's crazy. Why would you give all your money away? But they're tired of being harassed for being wealthy.
Selfish.
So they want to get rid of that variable. So maybe there's something more deep rooted, you know, before we all assume that she's just bat crazy.
But
I'm not going to judge her.
I don't want to give credit to folk who don't ask for it. I mean, like you said, here's the opportunity. You have the platform. It's time to let America know this is why I did this. And if there's a lesson for us to learn, we're ready.
Right.
I'm ready to be educated.
I didn't know she was going to get caught.
That's what
sooner or
I'm
later.
saying. That's what I'm like, it took so
How
long.
did she get past HR?
That's what
what
I'm
does her ID
saying.
say?
She went to Howard University.
Maybe she went to Howard University
Who
on
hired
a
her?
scholarship.
Who hired her, though, is the question.
But you know what? When you go in, you fill out the application like for a job.
Not
I
the
mean,
NAACP,
come on
they
now.
don't
It's the
ask.
NAACP. It's like, that's government.
ask.
They do
don't
research
ask.
on everything else
They're
than any
so-
other government job.
But they're so worried about like crossing the line of being inappropriate that they probably just say, okay, there's a box for you to check.
Right.
White, black, other, Hispanic, you know what I mean? And she checked black.
Other. She could have checked
She might
other.
have checked black or other, and they're like, well, she looked black.
It's been
and crack like a
investigated.
duck.
It's been investigated. There is no question of what ethnic group do you identify with on the application for NAACP. There isn't.
I mean, look at her. Like, would you? If she said, you know, I'm black, which most
And she got her nose
Wait a
pierced,
minute.
too.
But she got
She got a little ghetto to her.
Hold on. She got Al Kinko hair sewn into her
She
head.
got the
I had that
Kinko
wig
hair.
on yesterday. Okay, she is rocking the ultimate natural wig.
Wait a minute, is that
I don't
her
know where she got
before?
hers.
Yeah.
And not to mention, when she put this wig on, she said she was going natural.
Yes.
So she has been very intentional to say that she is a sister.
Yes.
We
I'm
have
going
been
natural.
deceived.
Would you automatically question her though, like if you saw her at the grocery store and she's like, "Oh
No.
yeah, girl, they treat
I
you
would
so
think
bad."
that she was mixed, though, maybe with black and white.
Because we've learned to accept that.
But
if
then-
that's okay,
but
you know?
But don't we all call people who are mixed with black and white black?
Yeah.
We do.
We do.
I don't.
So nobody would think she's not black. She's just a mixed black girl.
But as old as you are here, you ought to be able to give that explanation when
You
you're asked.
grown. You know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I think she should.
I just don't think that she should have. I just don't think that it was right to deceive all of these people who look up to such an organization of the stature of
Did you see the
WWACP.
guilt in her face during
Yeah.
the interview when he's like, "So, is this your dad?" And she's like, and then he asks her,
Are you an African? She said, "What does that
African-American?"
mean?"
And she, I don't understand the question.
I don't understand the question. What do you mean?
Now, let me ask you this question. Do you believe or do you think that there is a hint of arrogance from the white perspective that she could say that she understands what black people need in their experience? And, you know, do you follow what I'm saying? To me, it's how are you a white woman to step into a black position and then speak on behalf of black people?
I feel like this was planned, in a sense.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like when things like this happen and it takes so long for things to come out, I think that this was actually probably somewhat even intentional because of even the things that this is a crazy time where we're in right now, and with the police situations and it's a crazy time for America and African Americans here in America. So I think that with this happening right now, it's kind of like, why didn't we know this?
Yeah.
Why didn't we know this? And I think it's a slap to us, kind of in a sense, to African Americans. Like, look, white people can lead you just as much as you think your black people can. White people can too. And I think it's a slap in our face, and it's a laugh at us now. Ha ha ha! This is what's going on.
Well, I agree with Popra on the idea that some people do crazy things with good intentions, and as long as she's studied, you know, we can say that she has some type of dedication to the black community and to civil rights and to creating a deeper understanding of race issues in the States, which is why I think it's a psychological thing. But I also think that the NAACP kind of backing her, like their response to this, they're trying to cover their own asses. Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, this is a horrible time for this type of issue to come out, and they should be embarrassed that they didn't
Very
notice.
embarrassed.
But you know,
But how would you know unless you drag?
It's
unless you
research.
Go,
She's the president.
But they
What
say
is-
there was some suspicion.
This is
Before.
research,
But-
and no matter what, in any job that you get to this.
university on a.
And you better believe when Obama wanted to be president, you better believe they did research on him.
The NAACP is supporting the
true freaking.
Exactly.
The NAACP is standing by the content of her character, not by the color of her skin.
Let me ask you this: do you guys realize, or do you think I should say, that what if she really only identifies with the black experience? Like, if I can see if she
You're not
played-
about to go to Bruce Jenner.
I would need to know. I would need to know. That's what I'm saying. I need to see. I would need to look at back in the day when
like
she was
I
a kid,
said,
how she was raised.
But think about it, like because people are saying that her mother told her, like, you're black, like you're only going to be treated like a black person because you're not pure European, you're not pure white, you're mixed with this and this and this and this. Which I heard she's German, Czech, and something else,
and maybe some traces of Native
little gumbo.
American.
Little gumbo.
Right, exactly. So if you grew up being instilled in your mind that you are this.
Yeah.
Maybe her identity issues started from childhood.
Absolutely.
So even though we want to say, oh, well, she's white, so automatically maybe there should be some, we think there's ill intent. Maybe her intentions were that I just want to be black. I've been all over the world, and I've met more people that want to be black than anything else. I wrote a song called "Everybody Want to Be Black." You might not admit it, but you know it's a fact. Everybody want to be black.
Yeah.
We are cool. We are hot. We have flavor. We have swag. We're intelligent.
But
we're
then
creative.
she could also identify with
But
that,
she
with
should
that
say
percentage
that.
of our demographic that doesn't really feel comfortable with who we are. Raven Simone, for example, is still trying to wrap her mind around who she is. So maybe there's something in what you're saying that this over here is still coming together. I heard one professor when I was in college say that the definition of a black man or black woman is one who is in search of his or her own identity. And I initially struggled with that, and then I looked at the fabric of African American culture, and I thought, yeah, we're all trying to figure this thing out because we don't have a prototype. We don't know what home looks like. We don't know what it really means to be black. And so if she's been fed this, then yeah, maybe she is struggling, intellectually or psychologically with, who am I? I identify with these folk. I have a passion for them, but I look like them. We do have black folk
She
that do
threw
that.
her parents under the bus, though. Like, she has, there's some accounts saying that she said that her parents were abusive. But then you go back and you look at their whole family structure from the beginning, and she has 3 or 4 black adoptive brothers. One in which came to live with her, and I think he was 16 or something, so she got guardian
Ship
rights.
over him. Mhm.
Yeah, so then she goes on Facebook, and all the pictures that are posted, she's like, oh, it's me and my son.
Okay. Oh. But
And the lie
And look,
continues.
I think we can't take away. Okay, we all can admit that maybe her intentions were well. Okay, we can all admit that her intentions were well.
She hasn't killed anyone.
She ain't killed nobody, and she ain't hurt nobody.
that we know of.
That we know of. Or she might have got away with. But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like it's still not fair to people who respect and put this organization on the platform that it is on, because the things that are in question today is who are the next Martin Luther Kings, who are the next Malcolm X's, who are going to be the people that are leading the young African American community into
But who's to say that person's not going to look differently than you and I?
Here it is, and that's fine that they could look different.
But they can't lie about
However,
it, right?
you can't lie about it, and you cannot honestly completely relate to the things that we go through as African Americans. Because I guarantee you, she not going if something happened to her, and then let's say she got into a racist incident or something, she not gonna be pulling that black card.
Oh, but she has.
She not gonna be pulling
Oh,
it.
yeah, I don't know that that's not to be true. I think the fact that you just mentioned that this woman grew up, again, there's a series, and it's got to be psychological, guys.
Clearly.
This
Somebody
woman,
crazy.
everyone was told that you're always going to be perceived as black because you're mixed, right? And then for her to grow up with people who were invited into her household, not birthed, invited to her household because she grew up with adoptive kids who were black.
Yeah.
Come on, one of these things is not like the other one. She was always probably the outcast. For her, it's like a coup for her to now be identified and accepted as black. How many people have people around us who, you know, they don't really quite think they fit in, so they do the most because they want to be down with black people?
This is the most.
This is the most.
utmost.
Do I think that, you know, all of us have probably not always handled things that we experience in life the right way? You know,
Yes,
other people
absolutely.
look on the outside and go, why would you handle it that way? I don't know. I handled my weight the wrong way. She handled her identity issue the wrong way. But what's important now is, what do you do with this platform? Now, I think she's sideways if she doesn't now say, you know what, guys, I was dead wrong, that I deceived the world, I deceived the NAACP. But you know what I'm going to do now? I have a perspective on this race thing that no one else has. I'm truly white, but I've been living the black life. And this is now, I can take this nappy wig off, this kinky wig, which I love the naps, so I'm all about nappy wood. I'm natural under this, as a matter of fact. But just so the haters be like, she said something. Okay. But I think that she could take the hair off and go back to Becky. Go back and be
Becky is
and
not
say,
attractive.
I got to say,
Becky is not attractive.
She could. She just needs some
Black
eyebrows on.
Becky is cute.
Yeah.
Okay, Black Becky is cute.
We don't know what adult white Betty looks like.
Right, and I don't think she's an unattractive. Anybody can, with some eyeliner, some foundation, contouring,
Some
we can all be cute. We can
That's
all
why
be
the
cute.
orange is the new black. Did y'all see that? Orange is the new black.
Women, I am so
But
I'm in
I
trouble.
think that if she would go back to the beautiful white person that God created her
beautiful
to
white
be,
person.
that she could sit and be that bridge to say, I've had the black experience through a white born person's perspective. And this is the real, and this is why all white people should not judge black people by the color of
Do
their
you think she
skin.
could still lead black people?
No.
And speak for
At
be
this
a voice
point,
for us?
no. Because
think
who's
she
going to
can-
trust her?
No, but you know, listen, the African American community is very forgiving.
Transparency, I could.
They're very
Yeah,
forgiving.
yeah, we're very forgiving.
The only one we ain't forgave is OJ.
If she lets it
I mean,
out,
right.
if she purges,
I don't know.
truly.
I would love
she-
to hear
if
her
she brings the
statement.
truth.
That's
If
what
it
I'm
brings
waiting
the
on. I would love for her to issue a real, honest, genuine statement.
The invitation's
That
right
is
here,
what I
Rachel.
want to hear.
Make your way over here. Make your way here and
We
talk
need
to
you to
us.
come on the show and keep it real, Rachel.
Keep it
Yes, we
real.
need to hear a genuine, honest.
We want to see Becky, so take the hair off and let us see Becky. What else is going on? I mean, you talked about the police earlier, and I know the police have been in the news for the last year and a half, it seems. But we've got a couple of things that have been happening.
Lord have mercy, look at that picture.
What about the pool party?
The pool party.
Makes
Pool
me
party.
mad
You know what?
already.
I literally, when I was watching this, it was like I wanted to fight him. Like I was
just
like, what
cried
if
my
I was
eyes
there?
out.
Like I was so angry. Like it really made me angry because there's nothing you can say. There's no reason why you need to do that to an 11, 12-year-old. You are a grown. Can we curse? Ass man?
We know.
Okay.
We felt the
You
rhythm
a
of it.
grown ass man.
Right,
you don't
yeah.
need to be grabbing no little girl like that. It's never that deep. It's never that deep.
He couldn't do anything but grab her. He rolled out there like Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey.
y'all see
he
the
was
beginning
gonna
of the
be
video?
RoboCop on this chick, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe. I could
I
not
thought it
believe
was a
that.
parody.
I'm gonna get the black people.
I thought it was a parody at first when I seen him roll out. I was waiting for the laugh.
I have this question. I'm wondering, is there a meeting amongst the police officers to say, let's just act a fool? Somebody
That's
should
what I
know.
said.
He was on the news last week. Let me not be on the news next week.
Or what does your partner say? Because even his partner, when he pulled out the gun on the
Oh, yeah.
and the partners was like, whoa, whoa,
Hold on.
whoa.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's why the police or the precinct or wherever unit he came from is saying, what's his name? Greg Connolly is the police chief, and he said that his actions were indefensible.
Yeah.
Because
I love that word.
There's no reason whether people have tried to say, oh well, she had an attitude. She might have had an attitude. She's still a child, and therefore
Yeah.
you have to treat her as a child.
Exactly.
No matter how mature or however she appears to be, she's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't detain a situation full of high schoolers
And be an adult.
I don't want you having a gun.
See, I think there's something a conversation that needs to be had, and I really want a lot of white America to be honest. I think that there is some truth
They stick
to
together.
police officers being in fear. I think it's a ridiculous claim, but I believe it's true for them. And I think it's true for them because of the way they see black people. And I want, we show up to be a threat. We show up to be out of control. We show up to be passionate. Just tell me the truth.
I want to say this, and I mean, God, thank you, Jesus, for this platform to even say this. But my thing is this. We know that there is this warped mentality amongst many, not all, but many police people in law enforcement that if you see a black person, expect the worst. They're going to try you. They're not going to obey you. They're going to disrespect
lie.
you. Your life is in danger, la, 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 la. But when is it going to come a time when we have a dialogue where we as black people accept some responsibility for the fact that when you are approached by a police officer, why don't you immediately comply? There are. I'm not saying that they're always right by far. We know that they don't always do the right thing. But I've seen almost as many videos of people who don't obey. If they say, put your hands on your head or lay on the ground, why are you? Because the thing is, to me, we would have more grounds to fight back if we can make it the contrast more obvious.
Yeah.
That I have my hands up. My hands were behind my back. I laid on the ground.
But that's a double-edged sword.
It is.
For every time the cops look at a black man or black group of people and see them as being trouble, we turn around and look at the black uniform and see that as being trouble. So now you've got brothers that are running because they think they're going to try to take me out. Let me dodge this bullet.
Look at how he rolled out.
Yeah.
And something like that, you ran from the police. Well,
Yeah.
you got your gun out, and we running.
And we're
Well, his
running.
buddies, though,
so you
were
make
like,
a
whoa,
point,
whoa.
but I think on the flip side of that, there's another perspective that the man or woman of color has as well when they see the cops coming.
But
We know it ain't no good,
Rolling
ain't good, ain't nothing good coming.
RoboCop doing stunts. Trying to audition for a Hollywood blockbuster film.
Absolutely.
He's dead wrong. But this little girl, the whole time, she's responding to him like he's homeboy on the street.
However,
oh God,
well, no, before that, let's take it back. Let's take it back.
Like, this is a police officer.
Now let's take it back.
Lay down.
I understand what you're
and
saying.
comply.
However, if it was that deep, he could have threw her in the back of the damn police car.
But
He
wait,
don't have
but
to sit
guess
there and
what?
put his entire body weight and his knee in
But
her back.
how
She's
does
a
he get
kid.
her? But how?
It doesn't matter.
But guess what? She don't look like.
It doesn't matter.
Girl.
It doesn't
You don't know
matter.
if
She
she's
was
14
looking
or
for
she's
her
18.
glasses. She was looking for her glasses.
I'm not
And she
saying that
said,
he's right. I'm just saying that we can take some of the fuel out of this burning flame. If more of us would not automatically react in a way that we expect the worst. I tell you real quick, I've been in a situation where I had an issue with a store, and I was very vocal about it. Like, I'm not having it. You guys just cost me a lot of money. Blah 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 blah. And they said, "Ma'am, you have to leave the store. The manager's going to escort you out. Security's taking you out." And I remember sitting in my car with that sick feeling of, you kind of between a rock and a hard place. If you fight back, you can't fight the cops. You can't fight security. And I remember sitting in my little car in Atlanta, and the next thing I knew, I swear to you, because I just sat in my car broken because the situation they cost me a lot of money, and I didn't know what to do. And I ended up having my whole car surrounded, I swear to you, by police cars, right? And I remember seeing the manager in the store cock a gun in the store, right, which was threatening to me, but I'm sitting in my car. I have no weapon in my car. And I remember seeing police cars pull up to my car, I'm by myself, and go in their car, and they immediately pulled out rifles. This is in Doraville, Georgia. They pulled out rifles. And I remember the cop coming over to me, and I'm going in my car, and I'm going over into my glove compartment for an ink pen, because I only wanted to write down the license plate of the people who were in management there so that I could take it a step further. And I remember the cop yelling to me, "Ma'am," and they were escorting people cops were escorting the people who were off work out of the store. They were escorting them out. And the police officer said, "Ma'am, do you realize that you have everybody in the store afraid of what you're going to do because you left the store irate? You've been sitting outside in the car for about an hour, right? And we don't know what you're going to do. And people's loved ones are saying, hey, they need to be escorted out. We don't know if this lady's crazy or whatever."
There's a stationary black woman.
Exactly. And I'm watching cops pull rifles out, and I'm just sitting in my car with an ink pen.
Okay, so how and
it was devastating. It was crushing. But my point is, even though I was hurt and mad then, I had to look at the other side and say, they didn't know if I had a weapon. They didn't know.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that, because if you did not, did you threaten those people? Did you tell those people, I'm gonna be outside waiting, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna hurt you? Did you say those things?
No, but perception is true for the one that's perceiving.
But exactly, to the person that's perceiving.
But think about it, if you have an argument with somebody, right, and they leave outside, and now they're just sitting outside in the car, and you expect them to leave, and it's an hour later, and they're just sitting there. You would wonder to yourself, and they're angry, what are they waiting for? Are they waiting for me to come out?
However, did it take 4 cars to surround your vehicle to do that?
I definitely thought that was overkill.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that the police do in today's society that are overkill. And it's nothing, and I get it, and I get it on both ends, because sometimes when you are even dealing with police, sometimes you just got to shut up, because they do have guns, and they are taking our lives out here. So you have to think of them as the crazy, because you got to protect yourself in the end of your life. However, that should not always be okay, because just like I live in America, I have a freedom of speech. I don't give a damn if I say this or that, if I'm cursing, I'm irate with you or whatever. You're trained by law to know how to deal with these type of situations. And not only that, you have exactly
part of the training is to leverage up.
It's people that's spitting people in the police face. Just because they spit in my face, you can kill me? That don't mean that.
They don't have the right to kill you, but I just feel like that we cannot deny where we participate and we make the situation worse, because a lot of times our response, like, kids are disrespectful. Look at all the videos you see on Facebook every day.
Yeah, of kids in school.
Of kids 16, 17 disrespecting the teacher. They ready to fight the teacher. The teacher like, do I fight the kid? Do I protect myself? Do I break up the fight? Do I not?
Well, this is
what
where
I'm
we'll
saying
start
is
hip-hop
that it goes both ways, and I just feel like that we'll have more of a platform to address the idiots like this guy who took advantage of this situation.
True.
If we at least stay in the right, where when a police officer pulls up and he says, give me your license and registration, yes sir, here's my license and registration.
No, I think you're painting a great picture, and interesting. As a parent, I looked at that as a parent, because when you said it, I'm thinking, okay, I've been in the house with my kid, and my kid is acting crazy. Now, I could snap your neck, right? But I'm your parent. So I can't go crazy on you because I'm your parent. I've got to be the parent in the situation. But the truth is, you make me want to snap your neck. When I was disciplining my son, every now and then, I would have to intensify my reaction, because it was the only thing that was going to make him calm down. If you look at me and see that I'm going to be bigger than you, I'm going to be more crazier than you, then maybe I can gain some control over the situation. So I've got to wonder whether or not, from a police perspective, whether or not they throw 4 cars around a single car to let you know you're surrounded.
But don't you think?
You see what I'm
though,
saying? I wonder if that's a rationale, because they've got to bring it down. If I was in the store and you cut a fool and we in there saying, is she coming back with a gun? What's up? I want them to surround you. I want them to intimidate you, because at that point I'm on the fearful side. You see what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying.
So there's a tension
they
here.
Don't know.
I get it.
But
some of them are racist, but some of them. I mean, I've been in neighborhoods in black communities myself, like certain neighborhoods even in LA, that if I see like guys dressed a certain way, like walking to my car, I'm by myself at the gas station, I'm locking my door, I'm making sure my purse is under the seat, because I don't know.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, there are some crazy, crooked, freaking cops. We know that.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying, like, black people, why don't we at least err on the side of right?
But we haven't.
So that when
we haven't
they're
done
wrong is so drastic.
Even from a civil
wrong.
rights perspective, remember, civil rights perspective, we were standing, we were marching, we were sitting, we were blocking roads in the whole 9 yards, and they were telling us not to. They were telling us to clear the way, and we were resisting, and we were doing what we had on our agenda. So somewhere embedded in the fabric of our community, it is okay to resist. It is okay to stand for what you believe is right and not have to bow down and stop when they say stop. So how many of these young guys, we say, I'm not doing nothing. Sit down, man, put your hands down. I'm not doing nothing. Look at
That's
right?
it.
So by the time you have that interaction going on, we set ourselves up for that perception and maybe that overreaction.
But what about the state of, when you really look at race relations as a whole right now, and the way that the police have presented themselves to society and to different communities around the states, there is a fear of, regardless of complying, they might still shoot me. They might still hurt me or take me to the ground and do all these things. And that is the problem of policing and the state of policing.
But have we
they
seen
need
that?
to be.
It's a legal gang. It is a legal gang. That is exactly what I feel it is at this point. Because it's how
It's less likely
who
to
helps us
happen.
then?
It's less likely.
I hear you.
I really feel it's less likely. I'm not saying it's always likely, because racism is racism is racism, but it will be more obvious, like this, like the officers who looked at this idiot and was like, man, like, hold up, what are you doing? That's happening because it was so obvious that this girl was not in the wrong. I'm saying, when we can say, you know what, they're dead wrong, but I'm gonna check myself. So it's so obvious that they're wrong, that then the ones who really are the bad apples can be addressed. But because we buck back when there's no reason to, hey man, can I have your license and registration? What do you want? What am I doing? No, I ain't giving you my registration. When you act like that, now you give them some reason for that gray area that they keep using to justify.
And get fearful.
But now there's been a bill passed in
see-
Illinois that we can't even record on our phones anymore when we have interactions
that's crazy.
with police officers.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
now it's gonna, who's here to protect us is my thing.
think
Who's gonna
did you
protect
see the
us?
video?
of the family in the car
Well, see, they should stop
when they
me.
busted the window in?
They should videotape me.
This is
Yeah,
what
that was
what I'm
horrible. I
talking
saw
about.
that, yes.
There's a mom and a dad in the front. They pull him
Yes.
over because she didn't have her seatbelt on. The police come up and they're scared because they're like, I don't know why they're pulling me over. So he rolls the window down a little bit. Cop says, hey, I want to see your ID. He says, okay, is it cool if I reach in my bag? Reaches in the bag. He finds like some piece of ID, gives it to him, and then they're like, this isn't enough, we need some more. And he goes, okay, well, I need to look around. And then he's like, sir, I need you to roll your window down. And he's like, first, could you just tell us what we're being arrested for? And the woman's like, my mom is dying in the hospital right now. They just called me, and I need to get there. Like, what? Could you just give me a ticket, and we can go? And he's like, sir, I need you to roll it down. And he's like getting a little bit irate, and they're talking very clearly about how scared they are, and the police are doing nothing.
Yeah, the wife says something like, "But all that's going on, nobody was rolling the window down."
Yeah,
you know,
and
they were fearful.
which is totally normal.
Yeah.
The kids are filming in the back, and then he's like, "Sir, I need you to open the window. Sir, I need you to open." And then he goes, "Bang!"
And breaks the window.
Breaks the window out. You hear baby start crying in the back, and he's like, "I told you not to do that in front of my kids." And then it's that kind of mentality where, yes, police need to go in. With caution, because it is your job, and because you are in a service where you get killed on the job.
Right.
It's not like you're a mailman. It's not like any other. It's you can get killed on the job, so therefore, be cautioned.
Right.
But with race relations, I think that precincts and whatever units they're being dispatched from, they need to be having conversations with them like, hey, race relations right now, they're a little bit elevated. Don't know if you've been watching the news. Don't know if you care, but this is how it is. So when you pull someone over, they might be a little more scared. And they need to
communicate with us how they want us to communicate with them. That's all I'm saying. I do understand that we have to make the initiative and, make it clear that we're not in the wrong. However, police need to let us know that too. Listen, I need you to just roll your window down. Nothing's going to happen.
Yes.
I'm here right now. I just need to be able to clearly see you and see your eyes, see your face, see what's going on in the vehicle. I'm not trying to, they need to communicate those things too. It's not, I'm the law. Whatever I say, go. If you don't do it, then I'm going. You going to jail.
And we need to have a
work
class
like
too.
that.
I'll tell you, when they stop me, I put my hand on 10 and 2. My hand ain't seen 10 and 2 on the wheel, and I don't know how long. I drive with one finger. But when they pull me, officer, can I move my hands? Can I move? Can I move? Can I open up the door?
My hands,
everything.
Yeah, you ask everything because I want to be that careful.
We need 3 things. We need communications, compliance, and accountability. Communication, what are clearly the laws. There's so many videos coming out where people are saying, well, technically your right is you don't have to tell a cop your name. You don't have to show your ID.
Right.
Just do it if you don't have anything to hide.
Why is it not clear across the country someplace where we all can find out what are our rights?
That's because
why are we still guessing about what? No, I'm saying, but as a citizen,
Well, it varies.
A lot of us don't know our rights.
Then it needs to be, to me, that's what the government needs to do. They need to put up a website that
Memorialize.
tells you what your rights are. Why do I have to wait till after you have me in handcuffs for you to say you have the right to remain silent and da-da-da-da-da? Why you have to, give me
Right, 'cause
why
I
am
want to know
getting-
why you pulling me out the car anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I want to know, do I have to give you my ID? Do I have to answer your questions? Can I legally say I have the right, the Fifth Amendment and all of this? The second thing we need accountability. To me, every police officer should have a video camera on his person. It shouldn't be just in the car, because we don't see what happens when he
get out the car.
past the car, and it needs to record audio.
Because I've had officers curse at me at my window.
Yeah.
And curse me and talk to me so crazy. And what can I do? Get your badge number, and then I go to the police station and I report you, and then what happens?
Right.
Nothing.
And we have technology to do everything else we want to do. Why can't there be a simple technology that all police officers have video cameras on their
Uniform.
person, on their
Yes.
uniform? That's so easy to do. They need to make that happen. And then the last thing is accountability. What did I say? Communication, accountability, and what was the other one?
I thought there was only 2.
I think
3.
No.
Yeah,
It was
3.
She said
communication,
3.
accountability, and wow, I think I lost it. Well, the other
forgot.
thing that I also feel that needs to be is we need to then hold them. No, it is accountability. We need to hold them accountable for the things that they're doing. This letting people get away with it, and he's just gonna get
Suspended.
and paid leave and all of that.
No.
Like, no.
Well, that's
I
why
mean,
this Walter Scott case
Walter Scott,
is
yes.
so important, because it's both of these topics merged into one.
Yeah.
Walter Scott was a 50-year-old Coast Guard veteran who hadn't paid child support since 2012. He was about $18,000 plus behind. But I think, he had also been in prison. Or
Like a lot
jail.
of black men in our community.
And a lot of white men. There's a lot
Unfortunately.
of people
and
out
white
there.
people too.
There's a lot of people
Unfortunately.
out there who get behind on child support, and I can kind of see how that happens, especially if you face any kind of difficulty or you lose your job and then you get behind and then you're behind on everything, so whatever.
Yeah.
But
So he gets pulled over.
so he gets pulled over by, what's his name? Michael Slager, who was a North Charleston police officer, is 33 years old, for a broken tail light. And then he walks up and he says, I need to see your identification, goes back to his car, starts running all of his information, and then Walter Scott then proceeds to get out of the car. The cop says, hold up a second, get back in the car.
Yeah.
Shady. And then, proceeds to continue to look at the information, and then Walter Scott jumps out, starts to run away, and then he shoots, the officer shoots 8 shots, 5 of which went into his back. And
And then he lied. The officer lied.
so he wrote his police report and said that Walter Scott reach for his taser. But there's a man by the name of Fadine Santana who was a bystander who videotaped the whole thing, and it totally contradicted that police report. So if it wasn't for the bystander, it would have been almost impossible for the police to be accountable because all they have
law
is
protects
that
them.
police report.
Right.
And, you know, his family lawyer said that they think that he might have been afraid to go back to jail or back to prison and was concerned, and so he ran.
Right.
But that is not a justification for being murdered.
No, it's not a justification for being murdered.
Not at all.
But
And he didn't have to shoot him. Like, you run his information, it's like child support.
But to the
He
point-
must die.
Not
But
to
to the
mention,
point of
I
accountability-
see. Oh, where you at?
But this particular officer has been brought up on charges. Charges have been filed against this officer this week,
Indicted on
right?
Monday.
Indicted this Monday, which means that we do have some accountability that's coming into this. The unfortunate part is that we keep losing lives.
Yes.
You know, yes.
The other one
That's the
was, the
thing.
other word was compliance.
Compliance.
And see, this is where we risk that they won't be held accountable because we're not complying.
Yeah.
You kind of just
Right.
need
The guy was wrong. This man was wrong for
No,
murdering this boy.
it doesn't matter, though.
No. He was dead wrong for shooting him in the back. I do
Yeah.
not justify that. That is horrible.
But two wrongs don't make a right. With the law.
But why put yourself in a position that you're going to be shot in the back? You have been detained. Sit in the car and deal with it through the
Yeah.
court
Well, that
system.
part of the story
Why
is
did
just
you jump
unfortunate.
out of the car
Yeah.
and run?
Because everybody's
No, because,
everybody's
I mean,
responding impulsively.
Everybody
There
is
is no
responsible.
logic there.
This is the thing is if and I say this because I have a young nephew who's like 12, 13 years old, and my sister's facing the same things that you're dealing with your son. And a lot of people are dealing with their teenager, like the lady whose daughter who just got killed, you know,
Right.
And she was one of the few parents who stood up and said, my daughter is not following the rules, and she's been off the chain for a long time, and she ran away from home, and now she's murdered. What I'm saying is, I just want us, because we're in a platform to do it, is to tell our young black people, yes, we know that they're corrupt people like the people that we see killing, the Trayvon Martins and the Walter Scotts, but let's not add fuel to the fire.
Act accordingly.
Act right.
Act right.
Yeah. Follow the rules
And white people are scared of us.
comply.
You heard it here.
That is just a reality.
Comply.
They are
You
scared of
heard
us.
it.
They are
Arrest
scared of
you.
us.
We're gonna be
Very
talking about
scared of
this
us.
all night
Yeah,
long.
we can't even get off this.
You heard it
Don't
right
go
here.
nowhere. Don't run.
Accountable, compliant, and what's the other one? Lord, you done forgot again.
Lord.
Oh my God.
This is the Black Tea Party. We thank you for
Compliant.
tuning in. Whatever you do, be accountable, be compliant, and have.
Communication, accountability, and compliance.
You got it. Right here. I'm Don Nash. We're signing out. Say thank you to Simone. Say thank you to Popra
Bye-bye, guys.
and to Elise.
I love it.
Wow. From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.